Hey y'all. So I've been getting quite a few requests like on my ask me anything kind of thing to do like a full board rundown. And even on some of the reels that I've been posting, just comments of people like asking more in-depth deep dive into my board and how I run my sounds and all that stuff. So here we go. First off, like clean tone is just straight into the interfacer, my diamond compressor, and the UA pedals. That's clean tone. So this is a diamond compressor. I usually run it right around here. If I want it a little bit hotter, I'll push the volume a little bit hotter. And then what's great about the EQ knob is that like if there's a morning where it just seems a little bit darker or brighter, I can adjust. It's just a tilt EQ, like noon is straight up, like Unity EQ. It's very, very good. And these two pedals are absolutely incredible. I love how, I guess, authentic they sound. About as authentic as, amp sims can get. They break up a lot like real amps do, in the sense that like they get that really cool rowdy, like out of control top end kind of thing, especially like when you push a lot of delay and reverb into them. I'm really, really in love with these guys. After the compressor, I go into the micropod. I'll be honest, like I really rarely use this guy. I really only use it for like tracking and stuff, for layered parts and stuff like that. And every now and then I'll like throw it in a part live at church or something, and it's cool. Like it does the thing. I honestly couldn't tell you where I keep the knobs. It changes all the time. I think the sub octave is usually a little lower than that, but whatever. I rarely use this thing. It is cool for layered parts though, when you're recording. So then after that are these babies. I really love these Overdrive pedals. My whole philosophy of Overdrive pedals is I try to have multiple options in as few footprints as possible. So like I've never been the guy to have like more than 3 overdrives ever, or 3 stomp boxes, I'm sorry. I just don't like the real estate that they take up, and I don't stack overdrives. I don't do any of that stuff. I just like having as many sounds as possible for recording, but not that many pedals. So what's great about these and what makes these so good is that it really fits my philosophy of like, it fits exactly that philosophy. So with these guys, like the Optimist it's like a clone and like a really clean, like straight up kind of overdrive. they market it as a transparent overdrive, which whatever. I found that the OD2 is super bright though, so this is really how I run it. It's like a volume boost with a little bit of gain and the tone completely off. What's amazing about this pedal though is the EQ. I usually keep it around here, roll off bass, boost mids, and roll off treble just a tiny bit. And I find that I can almost like create my own overdrive sound in a way. So like I'll stack, like, get to here in a second, but like I'll usually stack those three if I really want a lot of gain, but a super clean signal. So it's really cool. I absolutely love this guy, and then really love this guy as well. Turn this off. This is the Golden Boy. What I love about it is that it's like 4 overdrive circuits and 4 boost circuits in one pedal, and you can cycle between them. So like that's the, I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick up the color, but like that's like the Marshall kind of setting. So then if you hold it down, you can go to like a Tube Screamer and kind of like a King of Tone type, and then like a Timmy type, like different clipping settings. It's really awesome. I usually like to keep that one set for like my neck pickup, because it kind of does, like the Marshall setting is super open clipped, like it's not not a lot of compression coming from it, so it's a cool, really cool sound, and it's that really cool like bluesy neck pickup sound for me. But the highlight of this pedal for me is this boost circuit. So you can do the same thing real quick. You can cycle through 4 different boost settings. There's like a mid boost, treble boost, I forget what the other one is, and then there's the tailored boost, which I keep it on all the time, and it is just the most amazing sounding boost I've ever used. I, for the longest time, like just wouldn't even turn it off because it sounded that good. It just adds like some like body to your tone. I guess like a little bit of bass and some clarity and some, it's just like a kind of like more better type sound. I absolutely love it. To me, it kind of sounds like having like a, it's almost like having a plug-in like of like saturation and like maybe like a little EQ boost, like when you're recording guitars. Like it's just so good. The clarity that it adds, I can't rave about it enough. So like this combination that I use here, it's like super open, just like Shred City awesome sound, this combination here. I absolutely love these pedals. Can't say enough good, amazing things about them. Jackson Audio makes the best overdrives. I love them. So then after the overdrive pedals, I have my Lila volume. It's nothing fancy other than it's just like built like a dang tank. I've had it for a few years now. It hasn't failed on me yet. The cliche thing of like I've had so many Ernie balls and they've all broken. I've had a good ridge, it's broken. This is truly my favorite volume pedal I've ever owned. It's, like I said, built like a tank. It's really nice, clean sounding. I love it. So then next is my modulation section. I'm sorry. I use the Walrus Audio Julia. It's just a V2 like mono, and then I have the New Neighbor Inspire. So the Julia I really use for mostly used for vibrato, kind of like a VB2 setting. And the reason why I have this over a VB2 is that it just gives me a little more flexibility. Like if I want to use it as a chorus pedal, I can. VB2, obviously you can't do that. Even this does like so initially with the V1 Julia, it sounded identical, but it didn't have the latching thing. But now with the V2, it does. So if you just hold it and release it, it's a momentary thing. You can just turn it on, turn it off, whatever. So I love that. I use vibrato quite a bit. It's a great effect. It's really fun. And then this guy is so good. It is kind of emulating like 80s rack unit type pedals. It's like that really classic like Def Leppard or White Snake awesome chorus sound. I love this pedal. It sounds huge in stereo. For the longest time, like it didn't really I had a Walrus Audio ACS1 for a long time, and this Inspire didn't love the ACS1, so it never really sounded that good. So right before I transitioned to the UA pedals for my amp stems, I was really contemplating selling this guy, and then I got my UA pedals, and I was like, I'm just gonna figure, I miss that pedal. I'm just going to plug it into my board. And the first time I plugged it up, I was like, I can't sell this thing. At least not now. Like, it's just so good. Really, really great. So now let's get into the time section. So I have a V1 Walrus Audio D1 and a Strymon Volante, and they're both synced up to the Disaster Area micro clock. This is just a really fun combination. I usually keep the D1 on like a kind of like a digital setting, trying to get that like edge, like really bright and modulated delay sound, like that dotted 8 thing, and I usually let it live there. And the Volante I keep at so what's cool about it is there's multiple playheads. So this is I think this is a whole note or a half, I can't remember, and then quarter, dotted 8th, and I think a 16th, or maybe it's an 8th, I can't remember. And you can pan these playheads anywhere in the stereo field that you want. So I usually just keep it left and right, just pan them hard left and right. And I keep it nice and warbly and fun. These aren't the exact settings, but whatever, I keep it fun and really vibey sounding, and just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of spring reverb for some depth. And man, it just sounds good. What I really love the record level function, because you can get that really sick, like distorted delay sound. Get a little bit closer to that edge thing. It's just really fun. I typically get a lot of compliments on like the ping pong thing that my delay sound has. I just really love this pedal. It's kind of like the Strymon El Capistan, just like fully realized. They're emulating two different units, but it's just like the flexibility and the control of the delays that you get with the Volante is just hard to beat for me. I really love this pedal. So yeah, these three are just a ton of fun, a lot of depth and character to my delays, which I always look for. I always look for like a bounce. Like I don't ever want to like my delays to feel like flat and like divorced from like my overall sound. This sounds really weird, I get it, but like I want to feel like a noticeable oomph or bounce in my tone when my delays repeat. And I want them to add character to my sound. And what's great about these two and how I've got them dialed in is like, after a while, like after like 3 noticeable repeats, they really start to diffuse out into like a reverb sound. It just sounds unbelievable. So really love these 3 for now. I'm having a lot of fun with them. They're really great. Then finally on the reverb front, I mean, yeah, you guys know what this is. Like it's been on like every worship record ever, I guess. Just standard RV5. I keep the tone all the way off because it's so bright. And I like how that sounds, so I keep the time maxed. It's on the modulate setting, obviously. And then like I just kind of with my foot will roll it up and down, and it sounds really, really good in stereo. It sounds awesome. Yeah, I really love it. Not much to say about it. So yeah, those are the pedals. I guess to say a little bit more about this. Tuner is in the tuner out section of the Layla pedal. And then the interfacer, it's great. Like, I love the ability to like flip phase. And I love the security of like knowing that my ins and outs are completely buffered and taken care of. And I'm not getting like any like degradation with my tone or anything like that. Yeah, and it's cool to like have like all my instrument cables running in and out of one part of my board. It'd be really great if my power supply would run over here too, but that's okay. Yeah, it's just kind of cool. It's a great pedal, or great utility pedal. Cables are Evidence Audio, for the most part, Evidence Audio screw-in solderless. I love them. They sound great. They're also super convenient, and I've had very few problems with them. Some of these cables I've had for like 5 years, 6 years, and they still work. Like, the worst thing to happen to them is like the connections get a little bit loose, and I just like, screw them in again, and there's no problems. There's two like Crosby Audio little guys because I ran out of cables, but that's it for the cables. They're great. I love them. And then power is the Strymon Ojai and Zuma, and that's powering everything. So yeah, this is a great board. I've really had a lot of fun with it. Hope this video was helpful. Yeah, if you have any questions, comment, DM me on Instagram, follow me over there. I'm always over there. More than happy to answer any questions and help with your pedal choices and tone and all that good stuff. So yeah, see ya.